We are all covering the Republican plan. I'm just,
Go
why
ahead,
can't
go
you
ahead.
say how many weeks for Biden?
Go
But no,
No, go ahead. I answered your question.
You
Go
did
ahead.
not
Go ahead,
answer my
Courtney.
question,
I
Karine.
did.
Why
I did.
can't you say?
Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. In this Sunday episode, we have the gladiator, Peter Doocy, getting frustrated with White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre regarding if President Joe Biden has any limitations when it comes to abortion. And I think it's finally caught up with him, and he's tired of taking her crap in terms of her not answering his questions. It's on full display in this episode. As always, folks, this is one you're not going to want to miss. Support us by hitting that like and subscribe button. With that being said, let's go ahead and roll into the clip.
Okay, Peter.
Thanks, Karine. Following up on your topper, does President Biden favor any limits on abortion?
We've been very, very clear here. Since you're talking about my topper, I was talking specifically about Senator Lindsey Graham.
And your position on his plan is clear.
And
15 weeks is unacceptable.
I was speaking directly to what Republicans are trying to do.
So
They are
Republicans-
calling for a national ban, which takes us backwards.
A limit
Which will,
at 15 weeks, right?
It's a national ban which will take us backwards and will put at risk the health of women. And here's the thing about this, Peter, it's not just national ban on abortion. We're talking about privacy, we're talking about contraception, we're talking about marriage. That is what extreme Republican officials are trying to do. That's what we're speaking to. I'm not going to get into specifics here. I'm just going to lay out what they have said. That
Did I hear that correctly? Did the White House press secretary just say she's not going to get into the specifics? Which is her job, to report the specifics and answer the questions of the press so they can report on the specifics of the president's thoughts, his agenda, his opinion on things? You can't make this up. Even if you tried to write it, you couldn't. I'm not going to get into the specifics. It's unbelievable. She'll get into the specifics of what GOP and the Republicans are doing and spin it in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if you caught that. Oh, well, we're going backwards. You know, it's putting women's health at risk, but we're not going to talk about the baby that they're literally killing, the baby's health. We're not putting that at risk in any way, shape, or form. Furthermore, she's going to try to push this whole contraceptive, marital right to privacy, which is Griswold v. Connecticut Supreme Court ruling, of which she's quoting right here without actually saying Griswold v. Connecticut, because God forbid she actually cites the very Supreme Court that she's talking about so that you can go research it yourself and really see the manipulation that's coming out from this freaking White House. You know, somehow this right to privacy, abortion, contraceptives, marital laws, and all this other stuff, you know, is pushing us backwards if we remove it, even though it was pushing us backwards when it was implemented, because the Supreme Court literally created rights out of whole cloth that don't exist anywhere in the Constitution. But the second we call that out, now we're bigots, sexist, homophobes. We don't understand. We're conspiracy theorists, all this other shenanigans coming from the White House. Again, look at the connection between Griswold v. Connecticut to Roe v. Wade and see the pathway that the Supreme Court created and the overreach of the judiciary of which they did. It is truly mind-boggling. But hey, we can't get into specifics, folks. They're just going to do a blanket statement like they always do. The Democrat Party, in conjunction with the progressive left, are known to give blanket statements. Black Lives Matter. Yes. Yes, they do. But you can't just put a blanket statement and you get a list of all these other asinine things you're trying to push through that blanket statement. Oh, there's institutional racism out there. Okay, what institutions? I don't know. Who's the people in those institutions that are implementing those very policies and regulations within that institution that are racist? I don't know. Okay, well, give me just the people in that organization that are racist. I don't know. Oh, well, there's racism out there. Okay, who are the racists? I don't know. So never specific, just blanket statements. This is what they do. Let's see if Peter catches on to what she just said about being non-specific.
they're going to do.
Why not get into specifics? The Republicans are saying we don't want abortion after 15 weeks. Why can't you say how many weeks a president thinks the limit
as you
should be?
know, Kevin McCarthy put out the GOP agenda.
I'm not asking about Kevin McCarthy. I'm asking about Joe Biden and his position on abortion. How many weeks?
Peter, I'm answering your question. What Republicans are trying to do is take us backwards. They're trying to take away the rights and freedoms of Americans. That's what we're calling out, and that's what we're going to continue to call out. House Republicans oppose a pharmacy bill that would deny women essential medications. As of September, 166 House Republicans have signed onto a heartbeat bill that would decide abortion at the federal level. Even
Folks, if you're wondering where I'm looking, I'm just looking for the answer to a question that's been asked multiple times now in terms of, does the president have any limitation when it comes to abortions? And she's talking about GOP, these extremists, you know, the right to contraceptives, the right to health care, the right to, you know, privacy laws, the right to all this other stuff. It's like, why are you talking about the GOP? The question was talking about, what does the president think? What is the president's thoughts on this? Does he have any limitations on the ban? Is it 15 weeks? Because you're making that connection at the topper with Lindsey Graham. What's the answer, Karine? And remember how Jackie Hanrich the other week was trying to get more clarification in terms of the thoughts of the presidency in the White House? And she was like, well, just read the transcript. She's like, well, I want clarification because I didn't understand. Well, go read the transcript. I'm not going to repeat it again. But yet she can't sit there and just listen with her ears a simple question. And if you notice, Peter Doocy hasn't been giving her questions that are like longer than 10 words because she can't handle anything past 10 words. Even 5 he's tried. I think we counted upwards of 6 one time and she still couldn't get it. So he's trying to simplify things to like 2nd grade level for her and just can't get it. So either there's 2 things happening. She's really that dumb and can't answer basic questions, or she's just a manipulator and just doing some really, really wrong things in terms of being White House press secretary. Or maybe both. Who the hell knows?
Even though 28 of those members have since said decisions on abortion should be left to the state. And this week, a Michigan GOP official said he wants to ban contraception. So we should really listen to what Republicans are trying to tell us. And that's what we are speaking out against, and that's what we're going to talk about the national ban that Republicans are continuing to push when majority of Americans do not want that.
We are all covering the Republican plan. I'm just, why can't you say how many weeks for Biden? But no,
go ahead. I answered your question. Go ahead, Courtney. I did.
Why can't you say?
Go ahead, Courtney.
I wanted to ask you, the president.
Look, Peter, A for effort, man. A for effort. You see the frustration, right? You saw it in his face. That's not him just doing his normal job. He too wants to know what's going on. You see the frustration here on the Bald Brad Show because we're one of the few that actually cover almost a lot of the White House, if not every single White House briefing we talk about when we can, when we have Peter Doocy, Jackie Hanrich, Phil Wegman, and others. She doesn't answer their questions, and it has to be so frustrating because that's their job to get in there and get their questions answered. She won't do it. And he's calling her out on it. She knows she's not answering the question. It was a simple one. Yes, he does, or no, he doesn't. So just give us the answer, and you see the frustration, and they're tired of it. They're all getting tired of it in there. And it kind of frustrates you. You got somebody stepping on Peter Doocy, another reporter, a fellow peer colleague, not going, hey, you know what? I'll give my time to him just for one moment. You know what, Peter, get your question answered. We're all been sitting here dealing with this crap, and we're all tired of it. But she's going to sit there and stonewall. She's going to sit there and look at you straight in the face and go, I answered your question. And this is what they do. This is politics for you. They answer a question of which was never asked. Nobody was asking about the GOP. Nobody was asking about Lindsey Graham. Nobody was asking that. The question was, Karine, if the president has any limitations in terms of abortion and you couldn't do it, you can't do it, could you? Because you suck at your job. You really do, Karine. You're really terrible at what you do. And you're a master manipulator. Let's give her that. Freaking Sideshow Bob out here, not answering anybody's questions, getting paid like $180,000 from the taxpayers to not do her job, to be the mouthpiece of the president. If there's any conjunction, if there's actually any truth that's coming out here, it's her not answering the public's questions the same way Joe Biden doesn't answer anybody's questions. He gets lost in thought. He can't hear. He gets confused. In the same way it's probably happening here. She's just a mouthpiece and portraying things as if Joe Biden would, of not answering questions, stuttering through her words, no train of thought, no logic, gets confused, gets lost in her train of thought as well. I mean, the only thing she does different here is she doesn't fight with her teleprompter the same way Joe Biden does. But there you have it, folks. The frustration's coming out from reporters. Finally, they're getting it in the same way we've been talking about here on the Bald Brad Show. The frustration of this White House, this administration, not answering journalists' questions, which in turn doesn't answer any of our questions because we're all curious on what the hell's going on. So, folks, as always, if you want to support us here at the Bald Brad Show, if you want to be a part of the true American patriots and conservatives, Republicans, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this link with your friends and family, folks. With that being said, I'll see you tomorrow here on the Bald Brad Show.